how is it going, everyone? Welcome to Genshin Impact, and today I want to play the event that this game has right now, well, right now at the time I'm playing, which is Verdict of Blades. It's a combat event that it's not that hard until you play the final difficulty, which is usually the case with these events. They appear once in a while. So I want to do that. There are 6 challenges in total, some harder than others, some might take a couple of attempts, but that's fine. We will just get into it. And how is it going, Blue? So the team that I plan on using for this is none other than Hyper Bloom. Well, a Hyper Bloom that might not be very standard with Fischl here, but it works very well. And it works very well for most of these. Some of these are not very optimal with this team, but I was able to get them all, so I just wanna show it on stream, so let's begin. So yeah. Like, everyone really is squishy in that regard. Like, that's the thing, in this team, the only one that doesn't die immediately is Kokomi. And it makes sense, Kokomi is a character that, on top of having a lot of health, she also has healing. So she's immortal, pretty much. I mean, she can still get healed, of course, right? Like any character. Nobody's truly immortal, but the chances of Kokomi dying are very low. You will have to get hit by a chain of very hard-hitting attacks, which usually could happen if you're fighting a boss. If you're fighting a boss and the boss uses, well, like for example the Magu Kenki, right? The Magu Kenki has a combo of hits that is extremely annoying. You know, if you get hit by that whole string of hits, you are dead. You are as good as dead. Yeah, the Magu Kenki is really annoying. Very annoying boss. Yeah, as I said, any heavy hitting attack, well, you can see that even these guys are dealing quite a lot of damage against Kokomi. Just that it's not enough to kill her, and as soon as I get the burst, I'm not gonna die. But it's the thing, like, it's just... Jesus Christ. And I dodge. You can see that I dodge, and I still almost died. Like, I went from like 20 something K to 5K. It's very funny. You know, I'm just gonna throw a burst here. Just gonna throw it out. Not like I have much to lose. Well, you technically lose time, but it's okay. They don't even let me use my skills. That's it. That one took a lot. Like, this one was supposed to be free and it still took me quite a lot of time. And this wasn't one of the hard ones. In fact, the one that comes here, this one, Inexorable Spread, this one is very hard. Or at least it's something that with this team that I'm using, I find hard to do. Damn it. It requires execution. That's the thing. Need to execute it well. I gotta say that I'm mostly surprised that these things are taking longer than expected. So this one, I guess I'm not surprised, because this one is annoying no matter what. But I'm surprised at the other ones. Well, the first one. I don't know if the other ones will take that long. Hopefully not. What I hate is this guy hiding. He has the guts to hide. Just like that. He doesn't care. He just hides. Oh, I didn't even use the burst in time, damn it. That might be a reason too. The thing with this burst is that I use it exclusively to replenish the jellyfish. Like, that's one of the things that it's a passive. That if you are not paying attention to the passives, you might not know. And in fact, I didn't know until not that long ago that Kokomi's burst regenerates her jellyfish. Well, the same way that a fish shell also regenerates us by using burst. But I didn't know that. Like, when I read that, I was like, wait, can you do that? Because a lot of people were saying that Kokomi can keep a hydro application forever, and I'm like, how? Because her delay is not instantaneous, right? That's the thing. You don't just use the delay, you use the burst. But yeah, that's the reason why Kokomi is such a good character. She pretty much has hydro application for days. Is this gonna be enough? I don't know. Will it? Yeah, I think it should. Yeah, it should. Not by much, mind you, but it will. Okay, there you go. Nice. Believe it or not, I got this faster the first time I did it. I don't know why it took so long this time, but that's fine. So, the next challenge, the third one, this is a challenge that you don't want to do with this team because Kokomi is essentially worthless outside of the healing. I'm gonna do it regardless for the simple fact that I don't feel like switching out team, but this is a bad team to do this challenge. And this challenge is not even hard, but you don't want to use Hyper Bloom, or at least not Hyper Bloom with a Hydro character. But as I say, I will do it regardless, I don't care. But yeah, essentially the issue here is that little skill that Raiden has, which is the one that triggers, nice. That triggers Hyper Bloom, doesn't work. Doesn't actually work when you don't deal any damage. When the opponent is immune, it doesn't do anything. So because of that, Kokomi, needless to say, doesn't serve any purpose other than healing. Though healing is a good enough purpose, I guess. But yeah. She doesn't serve any other purpose that is not that. So instead of that, obviously, the best character if you want to use Hyper Bloom here is very clearly Cookie. You get healing and you also get the electro application. But yeah, as I said, I just don't want to switch teams, so I'm just gonna do it with this one regardless. Well, and I also get to use the Shogun's burst. Is cool because in Hyper Bloom the Shogun's burst is pretty much worthless. It's not useful because it doesn't do anything essentially. I mean, it deals damage, okay, but at that point, wait, I'm gonna die. At this point, I'm gonna die. I could throw Kokomi's burst just to heal safely. As you can see, Kokomi doesn't trigger anything because she doesn't have that show here. And she's out of a show. Alright, we got that. But yeah, this is a bad idea. Don't do this. If you want to beat this challenge, do yourself a favor and don't use this team. But yeah, it is still possible to beat it. even using this team. Alright. Next challenge. I don't really remember this challenge. I think that I beat this so fast that I just don't remember. Visual was the key to victory. No, I think the problem is that... You know, I just gotta blame the lag. I feel like if I didn't have that much ping, the switch shouldn't take as long. I don't know why, especially today, it wants to be laggy. Why it feels like being laggy, but laggy. I don't think I should say laggy, but... I'm getting... Hoyoverse knew that I was gonna stream, so they are screwing me up on purpose, as a show. They should do it as a show. They want to do it as a show. Well, Fischl getting killed here makes sense, because getting hit by this guy is always an issue, because he deals a lot of damage. Just that usually, since he doesn't have that much health, he's never a problem, because he usually dies before he even gets to be a problem. That's the thing, what if he doesn't? But then again, he's level 95 here. So the fact that he's level 95 means that he lasts longer than the usual version. These are supposed to be a beast tier enemies, so it makes sense. Alright, so can you not get killed here? I will appreciate it. I would really appreciate it if you didn't get killed. See, for example here, if you get trapped like that and you are not using a character like Kokomi, you're pretty much dead. You're pretty much dead for the simple fact that you cannot even escape. But yeah, that's fine. That's the reason why we have Kokomi. The maiden, the mirror maiden has a lot of health, an obscene amount of health. Alright, but that challenge is done. Now, funnily enough, this one is not really that hard, but it has this guy here. This guy can be very annoying. Well, these two also can be annoying, but it's not really a hard one. But we will see. I mean, at this rate, I could die regardless of how much I'm dying in these challenges in general. Well, thankfully there aren't that many of them, so I think here it's not even worth it to waste the burst on these first churls. Let them die. In fact, I don't think it's worth it to waste anything here. So at the same time, you're eventually taking longer if you don't just use all your tools, so might as well. I mean, even if they... It's probably better to just use the regular rotations instead of trying to save. I'm saving the burst for Genshin Impact too. I'm saving them for the sequel. But no, that's the thing, you shouldn't save that. Especially if you have a set rotation, just spend all your resources. You know, no reason to be conservative with them. I thought that Nahida was gonna get killed there. Saving the burst for next patch, yeah, I know. Just saving the burst for next patch, don't worry about it. Alright, I'm gonna have 1 minute to, well, a little bit less than 1 minute to deal with this guy. But yeah, this guy is annoying. He moves a lot. he deals an interesting amount of damage. Well, not to mention that he has, obviously, since he's supposed to be an electro guy, he has resistance to electro. So any of that electro damage is not really gonna do much. Well, you could use another team here, you don't really have to use this one. Yeah. Is this gonna be enough? I feel like it should be enough. I mean, the Shaman Churl or whatever it's called is almost dead. Yeah, it should be enough. It almost wasn't enough. Almost. But no, I actually got it. Alright. Well, that means that there's only one more remaining, which is the very last one. The last one can take a little bit. I wouldn't say that it's the hardest, but it's really annoying, mostly because at the end there are two enemies that have a lot of health without any issues. Well, started, which is not the same as ending it. It's a different story. Let's see. Hey Kyle, how is it going? You're doing this challenging challenge. A little bit of a redundant thing to say, but yeah, it is a challenging challenge. It is indeed. Oh, I always forget about this. It's that I'm not used to the Neuma mechanic at all. Yeah, that made me lose a bunch of time, but I think it should be fine. So at least I didn't really mess up my rotations badly or anything. Yeah, I think it should be fine. The problem is if they put these guys in the abyss. Like, if they put these guys in the abyss, they are not gonna put the Neuma blocks. And if they don't put the Neuma blocks, you're kinda boned. You know? Without the Neuma blocks, you need to, well, use a Neuma character. And I don't want to take a slot for that. It will have to happen. I don't know. Was using burst there necessary? Probably not, but it's still... I get a lot of time against the last guy at least. Yeah, against this last guy I will get a lot of time. I mean, 50 seconds is more than enough. So whether I make it work or not is a different story, but it should be more than enough. It will be way more than enough. I don't know if using Nahida's burst there is the greatest idea either. Probably should have used Vicious burst. No, but that's fine. Yeah, it should be okay. Yeah, that guy is dead too, and this one is dead as well. And there you have it. That's the event in the Steadfast difficulty. Well, Steadfast or Steadfast, whatever it's pronounced. So I guess that, well, now that it's over, well, first of all, this is the only reward that you get for clearing this on Steadfast, so don't bother with it. Like, if you don't enjoy the pain, don't do it. So I'm gonna show the characters real quick. I mean, they are the same ones that I use in the Abyss, but they are a little bit more level. In particular, the Shogun is full level. The artifacts are the same, but, well, some of these are level. I'm just showing them because, you know, don't expect them. I don't expect them to, you know, to know what I use in the other Abyss. Oh, I didn't show the Constellation and Talents. Well, she's bad. This one should be higher and I will actually deal more damage, but it's not. That's a little bit of an issue. Shishi, thanks. Well, if you want to see one specific artifact in particular, you can just pause. But yeah. And Kokomi is something that I level a lot, well, except for the weapon. And the artifacts are the same, but something that, well, aside from leveling Kokomi herself, I also level the talents. Like, I actually crown the jellyfish. And then, well, Fischl, I think it's the same. I don't know, I think that Fischl didn't change at all. Like, this is the same Fischl I use in the Abyss. So there you have it. That's the team, and those are their builds, so GG's.